Welcome back to News and Views. And this morning, we'll be shifting our focus now to Limpopo, my home province, a place that I know very, very well, where relentless heavy rains have triggered severe flooding, destroyed infrastructure, and claimed several lives. From washed out bridges to a rise in drowning incidences, the situation is dire for many communities. And in Lephalale's Tshelammake area, residents are grappling with the devastating effects of these floods. Lives have been lost, villages have been literally cut off, all access to essential services like healthcare, and just getting access from the right authorities has become quite a challenge. And joining us to provide first-hand account of the situation is Puedi Loba Phukubje. He's a resident of Tshelammake in Lephalale. Mr. Phukubje, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Salam Media. Really appreciate you giving us your time. All right, we seem to have lost Mr. Phukubje while he sorts himself out. I think Limpopo is, one of the provinces that needs a lot of attention when it comes to infrastructure development. I was there for the holidays, and you could tell, man, with the heavy rains and just how frequent they've been, it's been quite a challenge for a lot of people. But Mr. Phukubje is joining us on StreamYard. I'm not sure if he can hear me or see me. He'll be helping us unpack this issue and just to give us insight on how his community has been affected by this. Mr. Phukubje, can you hear me? Mr. Phukubje, can you hear me?
Yes, my brother.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. You're live on Salam Media. I just want to touch a bit on what has been the latest coming out of Tshelammake. If you can just paint a picture for our viewers on how the floods have affected the community and just the daily lives of those around you. All right, it seems we're struggling to get the correct communication with Mr. Phukubje. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll try and reestablish that communication with him. I'm not sure if it's the internet or he just can't hear me, but our engineers will try and sort it out, and we'll be with him after this.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
The kitchen, the heart of the home, where memories are made and celebrated. Our go-to place for those freshly stacked pancakes early in the morning or for the late-night snack munchies. We are in there together, cooking, eating, and celebrating life together. Let's keep the kitchen a place that is shared by everyone, where we build stronger bonds and grow together. Sunfoil, Now We Cooking. Visit nowwecooking.co.za for recipes that everyone can help make.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
Our lives have been paralyzed. There's absolutely nothing I can say. Just like that, we dream of having a good life. Like, for example, we have been starved. We barely can get access to water, to food and other stuff. Life here is too expensive. Bombings continue. There's lots of squares and lots of neighborhoods in Lephalale have been wiped out despite it being not entered or invaded. It's constant trauma. It's absolutely constant trauma. It's unbearable. It's unimaginable. And that you're hoping and you're praying, especially during the night hours, because drones and warplanes constantly and incessantly hover over us in the sky, which means that it's going to target a place, and this place, you don't know where it is. It might be you, it might be other places around you.
Abu Bakr Abid, who's coming to us live from the Gaza Strip.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity. Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
It's not the very first time I'm living through this genocidal war. There have been 5 wars before across the past years. So my entire life is just about wars. It's just about escalations. As a young man, living through all such terror is absolutely so much. We have lots of things, like we have been mentally exhausted because of the relentless attacks and the bombardment that have been happening. So we were living through constant terror and unbearable and sheer horror at the same time, which is something that we cannot really bear. I'm a student and I haven't completed my education, so I should have graduated this year, but the genocide deprived me of completing my education. At the same time, our life is very much restricted.
Abu Bakr Abid, who's coming to us live from the Gaza Strip.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity. Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
After 361 days from the war start, close the border, the food, the water, the shelter, everything, nothing enter in Gaza. Only at least from 600 trucks in Delhi every day enter to Gaza, like food and stuff for what the people need. Now only what enter every day, 70 trucks only enter in a week. So people suffering. The people now only living in a tent. Currently, there is no good places, no building completely here in Gaza, only tent camping, and most of the building destroyed. People now more suffering.
Ashraf Skake, a dedicated humanitarian worker currently residing in Del Al Falah.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity. Salam Media, a global voice for humanity.
The bill has been through an extensive public participation process because it's been through both houses of parliament. Now, in our country, in our constitution, it's parliament that makes laws. The president's role is to sign those bills into law, and then it becomes not a bill but an act. The only basis on which he can decline to sign a bill and send it to the legislature is if he believes it's unconstitutional. He must believe that it's unconstitutional because he signed the bill and it is now an act. However, there's 2 clauses that he has indicated that he's open to discussion about. So he's delayed the implementation of that until there have been discussion, and he's given that period 3 months. If he's then persuaded that it's unconstitutional, he can send it back to Parliament. Actually, my view is that neither are unconstitutional.
Professor Mary Metcalf, she's an education expert, talking to us about those 2 clauses in the Bella Bill.
Salam Media, a global voice for humanity. Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries, joining hands. Salam Media. Humanity sets the agenda.
Welcome back to Salam Media this morning, and we're shifting our focus to Limpopo province, where relentless heavy rains have triggered severe flooding, destroyed infrastructure, and claimed several lives. From washed out bridges to a rise in drowning incidences, the situation is dire for many communities. And in Lephalale, Tshelammake area, residents are grappling with the devastating effects of these floods. Lives have been lost, villages have been cut off, and access to essential services like healthcare has become a challenge. And joining us to provide first-hand account of the situation is Puedi Loba Phukubje, resident of Tshelammake in Lephalale. Mr. Phukubje, thank you so much for joining us during these very, very challenging times. Really appreciate you giving us your time.
Thank you.
I think first and foremost, can you start by maybe painting a picture for us of what the flooding has been like in Tshelammake and how it has affected your daily life and the lives of those around you?
Can I tell you my name is?
Mr. Phukubje, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. Before I lost you there for a moment, I asked if you can just paint a picture for us, if you can just give us insight on what the flooding has been like in Tshelammake and how it has affected the daily lives of the community and those around you.
Okay. So what happened is a day before yesterday, we were told that students. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Say, as I was saying, like what happened is the day before yesterday, we were told that two dams, two huge, big dams that supply our river with water
Mm,
were broke.
mm,
Wa bona? Matamo a mabedi a tshwara metsi a thuberile, so batho ba gona matamo they couldn't control flow ya metsi, the flow ya metsi ne.
yeah.
So what happened is metsi na tsamaya ke taola without any control.
Mm, 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 mm. And situation here affecting the Joang community. As you mentioned, or metsi not to controller. The situation was out of hand. Rekradi reports already, the ambulance can't reach the people and other essential services. Ko Tshelammake, are just cut off because of just how bad the floods have been.
Not just ambulances, but le batho ba o ya meberekong ba o bereka maybe in town, ba o tloga from the villages ba ya in town. Ba sokola no to o fitlha meberekong cause ditsela di senyegile, some bridges are broken, then they have to gore ba try gole o fitlha meberekong at the same time nako o fitlha meberekong ya ba khabata le di-transport and all that. Some of the people ba senyegile, like metsi a tsene ka dintlong a di-furniture, dintlo di senyegile, dikoloi. Like for example, there is this what can I say, workshop ya o lokisa dikoloi at my village ne.
Mm-hmm.
It was very flooded yesterday. Like no sa kgone lo bona the name of the koloi, no kgone ho bona only rooftop ya koloi, kgone ho bona oh there is a car there, but you can't mention or koloi ke koloi mang cause ne le ka hara metsi. It was bad.
Mm, mm, mm. Let's talk about the municipality's response. Were they able to come to the aid? Are there any actions, Chore, they'll try and rebuild? We know of the two bridges that have also collapsed, Komokamole and Kohole. Have they tried to fix this? Are there any mop-up operations happening in the area, or Banotwela Badudi to figure it out themselves?
No, I think they are on to it. Honestly speaking, Lego village in Yarena, Molongoro, it was like that. The mayor came, the mayor of the municipality came and observe, and he promised to show the community.
Mm, 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 mm. Community on itself, how have they come together during this time? Do you see support? Are there any initiatives underway from community leaders, from Bakabohoshi maybe, who are also, trying to help with the mop-up operations? Just the community itself, how they picking themselves up and handling the situation?
Honestly speaking, like kana kocha Jaleta le sharp was namatata, little one of and stuff like that. But situation in Irlinkara yona nwirubunchi or like unity is the power there. About what to shana like no or nakamoa ni sia ona sa then bali kijabona they must suit themselves. No. Batho ka moka ne ba na le fišegelo like ya o thuša batho ba ba tlhokang thušo, batho ba re kgonne ho thušana, like everyone knows sharp.
No, I think we're going to leave it here for now, Mr. Phukubje. Raleboa for giving us the first-hand account of what's happening in your village. I think it'll be interesting to see if the cleanup and mop-up operations by the municipality ultimately do work. And we all know that Limpopo is one of the provinces that has problems with infrastructure, whether it's roads or bridges. It's really, really lagging behind. And ultimately, we find situations like this. So thank you so much, Mr. Phukubje, for breaking it down for us.
Thank you, brother Kolani.
There we go. That was Mr. Puedi Phukubje, who's giving us first-hand accounts of, I think, a very, very harrowing state of affairs in Limpopo province, where relentless heavy rains have triggered severe flooding, destroying infrastructure and claiming several lives because there were two washed-out bridges, and this has seen a rise in drowning incidences also. And I think, as you've heard, Mr. Phukubje, they saying the situation is dire for many in the community. People can't get to work, people can't get to school. Businesses have been flooded. People have lost their cars and their homes. But if there's one thing that is encouraging, is the fact that the Limpopo province, various municipalities, and also the provincial government itself has quite come out strong when it comes to how they're reacting to this. But my problem has always been the fact that there isn't just enough infrastructure in Limpopo. I'm from there. I can tell you firsthand that during my time there in December, visiting family, and with all the heavy rains, it was really, really impossible to maneuver around it. There's rain everywhere. There's flooded, literally, I don't think you can even call them roads anymore because of how bad they've become. And I think that's where the core of the problem is. There isn't enough infrastructure development in the province, and ultimately you'll find situations like this because there's no roads, there's no drainage, there's no bridges, and water will just flood houses and businesses and schools, affecting everyone. And you can only imagine kids that are going back to school, their first day at school, literally being, destroyed because of this. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if those mop-up and clean-up operations do take place. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, News and Views continues after this.